If you're a Sigma male, you've probably noticed something peculiar. Fake people seem to target you, even when you've done nothing to provoke them. Ever wondered why? It's because your very existence threatens the shallow, performative lives they cling to. Fake people thrive on control, attention, and empty validation, but Sigma males don't play those games. You're different, and that difference drives them mad. You don't seek approval, you don't engage in petty drama, and you don't need anyone to tell you who you are. That quiet confidence, that ability to stay true to yourself without needing a crowd, exposes their insecurities. They hate that they can't manipulate you, outsmart you, or pull you into their web of superficiality. In a world where appearances often matter more than substance, you're a walking contradiction to everything fake people depend on. But here's the thing. This isn't a weakness. This is your power. Your independence, authenticity, and refusal to conform are rare and deeply needed. In this video, we'll unpack why fake people despise Sigma males and why their hate is the ultimate proof that you're doing something right. Stick around. This is a message every Sigma needs to hear. Number 1, they threaten the mask. Fake people spend their lives hiding behind a carefully crafted mask, a facade designed to gain approval, manipulate others, or maintain control. This mask isn't real. It's a shield to cover insecurities, fear, and an often fragile sense of self-worth. But here's where Sigma males disrupt their entire game. Sigmas don't wear masks. As a Sigma male, your authenticity and grounded presence act like a spotlight, unintentionally exposing the cracks in their facade. You don't play along with surface-level behaviors or get swept up in superficial conversations. Instead, your introspective nature allows you to see through the layers of pretense to the truth that lies beneath. Fake people sense this immediately, even if you don't say a word. Your calm, self-assured demeanor feels threatening because it contrasts sharply with their constant need for validation. What makes it even more fascinating is that you don't have to call them out directly. Your very existence, your authenticity, your independence, and your unwillingness to conform forces them to confront something they'd rather avoid, their own insecurities. Being around you feels like standing in front of a mirror they can't control, and that terrifies them. Fake people thrive in environments where their masks go unchallenged. But you, as a Sigma, disrupt that safety. Without even trying, you reveal how shallow and fragile their constructed persona really is. And because you're indifferent to their approval, they can't manipulate you into playing their game. This is why fake people often resent you or try to undermine you. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's because you've done something they fear. You've shown them what it looks like to live without a mask. And deep down, they know they can't compete with that. Number 2, they reflect what fake people fear the most. For fake people, this realization is deeply unsettling. They've spent so much time building their facade that they can't face the idea of tearing it down and starting from scratch. But when they're around a Sigma male, they're forced to reckon with the gap between who they are and who they wish they could be. This is why their hatred for Sigmas often borders on obsession. It's not just jealousy, it's fear. Fear of being exposed, fear of being irrelevant, fear of confronting their own insecurities. You, as a Sigma, serve as a living reminder of what authenticity and self-mastery truly look like, and that terrifies them. But here's the important part. Their reaction to you is not your burden to carry. In fact, it's proof that you're doing something right. By staying true to yourself, you remind others of the potential for a life built on purpose and authenticity. Some may be inspired by this, but others, especially the fake ones, will react with hostility. Let them hate, let them project. Their insecurities and fears have nothing to do with you. Keep walking your path. In the end, your authenticity will always outshine their facade, and that's the ultimate power. At number 3, they kill the need for gossip. Fake people live off gossip like it's their lifeline. It's their tool to manipulate, control, and stay relevant. Gossip lets them create narratives, spread half-truths, and stir up drama to keep themselves at the center of attention. But Sigma males? They couldn't care less. Gossip doesn't just bore them, it's beneath them. As a Sigma male, you don't engage in idle chatter about other people's lives. You're focused on your own path, your goals, and your personal growth. That indifference to gossip is like kryptonite for fake people. Without someone to listen, react, or amplify their stories, their attempts to manipulate the narrative fall flat. They lose one of their most effective weapons. What really frustrates them is that you're unshakable. Fake people thrive on reactions, outrage, curiosity, or even agreement, but you give them none of it. Your refusal to feed into gossip not only denies them validation, but also makes their behavior look petty and meaningless. They can't pull you into their web of drama because you see it for what it is, a waste of energy. Even worse for them, your lack of interest in gossip makes you trustworthy in the eyes of others. While fake people are busy spreading rumors, you remain grounded and authentic. People notice this, and it quietly undermines the influence of the gossipers. Fake people hate that, because they know they can't manipulate someone who values substance over shallow distractions. In the end, your refusal to engage in gossip doesn't just protect your peace. It exposes fake people's reliance on drama to stay relevant. Without gossip, they have nothing left, and your silence speaks louder than any words ever could. Number 4, they can't be dismissed as loners. Fake people often rely on labels to undermine those they can't control. Anyone who refuses to conform to their games is quickly written off as weird, a loser, or a loner. It's their way of devaluing others while propping up their own fragile egos. But when it comes to Sigma males, this tactic completely backfires. As a Sigma male, you thrive in solitude. You don't need a crowd to validate your worth, and you don't play the social ladder climbing game. But here's the catch. Unlike the stereotypical loner fake people love to mock, you carry yourself with confidence and self-assurance. Your independence is a choice, not a result of rejection. People recognize and respect that, and this respect dismantles the fake person's attempts to label you as lesser. What frustrates fake people even more is that your solitude doesn't isolate you, it elevates you. While they desperately seek approval through cliques and alliances, you remain untouchable, standing outside their social structures. You're a puzzle they can't solve, someone who defies their shallow stereotypes. This inability to pigeonhole you forces fake people to confront their own limitations. They can't dismiss you as a loner because you command respect in your independence. They can't call you a loser because your life speaks for itself. And they certainly can't undermine you because you don't care about their opinions in the first place. In the end, your existence challenges their entire framework. You prove that solitude can be powerful, that independence can command admiration, and that authenticity will always outshine the desperate games fake people play. And that reality leaves them frustrated, powerless, and deeply insecure. Number 5, they're masters of calling out subtle BS. Fake people thrive in a world where appearances matter more than reality. They twist words, fake emotions, and craft personas to manipulate those around them. But Sigma males, they don't need to get loud or confrontational to expose the subtle dishonesty that others try to hide. Their presence alone has a way of cutting through the layers of pretense. Sigmas have an innate ability to see through the smallest signs of insincerity. It's in their sharp observations and quiet confidence that they can call out fake behavior without uttering a single word. A raised eyebrow, a deliberate pause in conversation, or a well-timed, nonchalant comment is all it takes. It's not a challenge, but an acknowledgement of the truth that fake people desperately try to obscure. And that simple recognition is more powerful than any direct confrontation. What's so brilliant about this subtle approach is how it makes fake people squirm. Unlike a direct confrontation that can be deflected or turned into an argument, the Sigma's quiet acknowledgement of fakery forces them to look at themselves. They feel exposed, vulnerable, like their entire act has been revealed in the briefest moment. This unspoken challenge hits harder than any insult ever could because it doesn't require drama to make its point. Fake people hate this because it strips away their ability to control the narrative. They can't argue or deflect your awareness. Your silence becomes louder than their words, and their masks fall apart under the weight of your calm, perceptive presence. To them, it's a reminder that their games don't work on you, and that in itself is a kind of defeat they can't shake. Number 6. They're proof that success doesn't require conformity. In a world obsessed with trends, labels, and fitting in, fake people go to great lengths to blend into the crowd. They follow the latest social trends, mimic popular behaviors, and align themselves with whatever they think will get them ahead. For them, success is a result of playing the game, conforming to expectations, and wearing the right mask. But Sigma males, they defy every rule in the playbook. Sigmas don't conform to anyone's standards or expectations. They don't need to climb social ladders or follow the herd to succeed. Instead, they forge their own path, grounded in authenticity, self-awareness, and independence. Their success doesn't come from fitting into a mold. It comes from staying true to themselves, trusting their instincts, and working relentlessly towards their own goals. This isn't just a personal choice. It's a message to fake people that success doesn't have to be built on hollow conformity. Sigmas show that you don't need to fake friendships, pretend to be someone you're not, or seek validation to rise to the top. The more fake people cling to their calculated behavior and social maneuvering, the more they watch Sigmas rise, authentic, unapologetic, and uncompromising. This reality shatters a critical illusion for fake people, the idea that manipulation, playing the game, or fitting in with the crowd is necessary for success. Watching a Sigma male thrive by simply being himself exposes the cracks in their own approach, forcing them to confront the truth that maybe, just maybe, there's another way to succeed. And that realization? It makes them feel vulnerable, exposed, and incredibly frustrated. Because deep down, they know that the fake version of success they've built isn't nearly as powerful or lasting as the one built on true independence. Number 7. They can't be bullied or intimidated. Fake people often resort to bullying, passive-aggressive comments, or subtle manipulations to maintain control over others. They thrive on instilling fear or insecurity, hoping that their targets will bend, back down, or give in to their tactics. Whether it's through belittling, making snide remarks, or trying to provoke a reaction, their goal is always the same: to dominate and assert their false sense of power. But Sigma males, they're completely immune to this. What fake people fail to realize is that Sigma males are not swayed by intimidation tactics. Their confidence is unshakable, their sense of self grounded in a place that nothing, no insult, no threat, no passive-aggressive comment can penetrate. When fake people try to use bullying to manipulate or dominate, they're met with a calm demeanor, an unbothered attitude, and a complete refusal to engage in their games. This drives fake people crazy. They can't get a rise out of a Sigma, no matter how hard they try. The lack of emotional response is the ultimate power move, one that leaves the bully with nothing to work with. Where they expect fear or anger, they get indifference. Where they want submission, they encounter steadfast resilience. Their usual tactics of intimidation are rendered useless, and they have no choice but to face the fact that they can't control or manipulate the Sigma male. The frustration for fake people is palpable. They don't know how to deal with someone who isn't affected by their attempts to undermine or control. To them, the Sigma's immunity to bullying is a constant reminder of their own limitations, and that truth stings far more than any direct confrontation could. The Sigma male's quiet, unwavering confidence exposes the weakness in fake people's attempts to dominate, and that makes them feel powerless. Number 8. Selective social circles. Fake people are always on the hunt for new connections, new alliances, and new people to manipulate. For them, the more social currency they have, the more powerful they feel. They cast a wide net, collecting acquaintances, influencers, and friends to expand their reach and influence. But Sigma males, they operate on an entirely different level. They value quality over quantity, carefully selecting the few individuals who truly align with their values, goals, and energy. This deliberate exclusivity is a direct challenge to fake people who thrive on being in the right social circles for validation and control. A Sigma male's inner circle is a space where only authentic, genuine relationships thrive. These are people who add value, not superficial drama. Being excluded from such a circle is not just an inconvenience, it's a complete blow to the fake person's ability to manipulate and exploit others. The fake person's frustration builds when they realize they can't just insert themselves into the Sigma's life. They can't force their way in with charm, flattery, or opportunistic behavior. The Sigma male's inner circle isn't a place for personal gain. It's a space for trust, respect, and mutual growth. The more fake people try to worm their way into that exclusive space, the more they're shut out, and that exclusion drives them crazy. What really irks them is that they can't exploit or control the Sigma. Unlike others who might let them into their lives for the sake of socializing or gaining favor, the Sigma doesn't play that game. They only allow those who earn their respect into their inner circle. Fake people hate this because it exposes their lack of depth. While they scramble to be liked by everyone, the Sigma doesn't care about popularity. They care about genuine connections, and those are the ones they keep close. For fake people, being excluded from that circle is a constant reminder that their shallow relationships have no place in the Sigma's world. And that stings. Number 9. Blunt and unapologetic. Truth. Sigma males don't sugarcoat reality. They don't dance around the truth to protect feelings or avoid confrontation. If something needs to be said, they say it, bluntly, honestly, and unapologetically. This is a direct threat to fake people, who live in a world of pretense and carefully constructed facades. For fake individuals, the idea of being exposed for who they truly are is their worst nightmare. They thrive on hiding their insecurities and manipulations behind masks of politeness and charm, but Sigmas have a way of cutting through all that noise. Whether it's intentional or not, the Sigma male has an uncanny ability to make the pretense of fake people painfully obvious. A single, well-placed comment or observation can shatter the illusion they've worked so hard to create. Sigmas don't play games, and they won't pretend to admire someone just to avoid making waves. If they see through your act, they won't hesitate to point it out, whether you like it or not. Fake people hate this because they rely on the ability to control their image, to manipulate others into believing their version of events. When the Sigma male calls out their behavior, it forces them to face the truth that they've been living inauthentically. That kind of exposure is like a slap in the face. It reveals them for what they are: fragile, insecure, and desperately trying to maintain an image that doesn't hold up. This brutal honesty is something fake people can't tolerate. It rattles their carefully constructed world, leaving them feeling vulnerable and defensive. The Sigma doesn't apologize for speaking the truth, nor does he back down when it makes others uncomfortable. To him, authenticity is everything, and he's not about to sugarcoat or protect anyone's ego, especially when their pretense is so painfully obvious. Fake people can't stand it because it reminds them that the truth has a way of always coming to light, whether they like it or not. Number 10. They undermine ego-driven power plays. Fake people are masters of power dynamics. They thrive on establishing dominance, making sure they're always one step ahead, and constantly seeking ways to one-up others. Their entire existence revolves around controlling the narrative, flexing their social influence, and using status symbols to measure their worth. To them, everything is a game, and they're always trying to climb the ladder or shift the balance of power in their favor. But Sigmas, they don't even play by those rules. Sigmas operate outside the traditional hierarchies that fake people depend on. They don't care about titles, positions, or public recognition. Whether someone is a CEO, a social media influencer, or a part of the in crowd, the Sigma couldn't be less interested. They measure success by their own standards, not by societal expectations or superficial benchmarks. This lack of concern for status and power renders the fake person's relentless pursuit of dominance completely meaningless. For fake people, this is infuriating. They're used to manipulating situations to elevate their status, but Sigmas refuse to engage in those games. They don't participate in the ego-driven competition, and in doing so, they deflate the power plays of fake people. No matter how hard they try to make a power move or assert dominance, it has no effect on the Sigma. Their indifference to social positioning exposes the hollow nature of the fake person's attempts to one-up others. This drives fake people crazy because it strips away their control. They can't manipulate or outdo someone who doesn't care about their games. The Sigma's refusal to buy into the social competition shows them that their pursuit of power is ultimately futile. When a Sigma male doesn't care about your power, status, or games, the fake person realizes that their ego-driven strategies have no real impact. It's a painful, humbling realization that they can't manipulate the Sigma into playing by their rules. Additionally, point is unpredictability. Fake people live for control and predictability. They meticulously plan their moves, calculate every conversation, and craft their behaviors to fit into a certain mold. It's how they manage to keep things within their grasp, how they manipulate situations and people to their advantage. Every move is designed to fit into a predictable narrative they've created, giving them a false sense of security. Enter the Sigma male, and that control is shattered. Sigmas are anything but predictable. They don't follow trends, they don't play by anyone's rules, and they sure as hell aren't looking to fit into any predefined box. Their actions are guided by their own intuition, instincts, and desires, not by the need to conform to what others expect. One day they might take a bold leap into an unknown venture. The next, they may retreat into solitude for deep introspection. This unpredictability is both their power and their defense. For fake people, this is a nightmare. They thrive on knowing how others will react, on controlling outcomes and having a firm grip on the narrative. But the Sigma male disrupts all of that. They can't predict you and they can't manipulate you. Every time they try, you throw them a curveball. Their plans, their strategies, and their attempts to control the situation all crumble because they simply can't anticipate your next move. This drives fake people absolutely insane. They're accustomed to being able to read people, control situations, and manipulate outcomes to serve their needs. With a Sigma male, they never know what's coming next. And that uncertainty forces them to confront the fact that their typical methods of control are completely ineffective. It's not just frustrating, it's terrifying. The Sigma male's unpredictability exposes the limits of their power and renders their manipulations irrelevant. And for fake people, nothing is more threatening than realizing they have no control over someone who answers to no one but themselves. As I conclusion, being a Sigma male is not about fitting into a label or chasing an identity. It's about embracing who you are without apology. It's about standing firm in your values, even when others try to undermine or misjudge you. Fake people hate Sigma males because they represent everything they fear: authenticity, independence, and the ability to succeed without playing by anyone else's rules. But here's the truth. Their hatred isn't really about you. It's about them. Your presence reminds them of the things they lack: the courage to be real, the strength to walk alone, and the discipline to live with purpose. You force them to confront their own insecurities, and that discomfort makes them lash out. They'll try to label you, isolate you, or manipulate situations to bring you down. But here's the thing. They can't. You, as a Sigma male, are untouchable because your strength comes from within. You don't need validation, approval, or the fake camaraderie that others chase. You've built your life on a foundation of truth, and that's something no one can take away from you. So, if you've ever felt misunderstood or resented for being different, know this: it's not a weakness, it's your superpower. Keep being the person who doesn't need to conform, who thrives in solitude, and who values genuine connections over superficial applause. Fake people will hate you for it, but the right people, the real ones, will admire and respect you. Stay true to yourself because that's what makes you a Sigma. And remember, the world doesn't need more people who follow. It needs people like you who lead quietly, authentically, and powerfully on their own terms.